Okay, all jokes aside, about 4 months ago, I buried this cache right here. The cache, as I like to call it, because it makes the internet nerds unhappy. Anyway, buried it right here 4 months ago. It was here, buried it in the fall, and it was here all winter long. This field has flooded once, maybe twice since then. And our cache is right here somewhere in this ballpark. I put it in an easily identifiable location for me, an easy to remember location for me, so I know I could find it no matter what. So what I want to do is I want to dig this thing up, and I want to see how well our contents have fared over the winter, the 4 months that it's been in here. Snow has fallen, rain has fallen, lots of rain. Like I said, this field has flooded. Depending on where you put your cache, it may or may not matter what time of day or what the weather conditions are or whatever it is when you retrieve your goods. Because let's say you're not planning on using this cache location ever again. Does it really matter if someone sees you getting in it? I don't know. Maybe, depending on what you buried there, perhaps. Don't want them following you home if you're carrying home bricks of gold, perhaps. So may or may not matter if you come at night or you conceal yourself and belly stalk your way back to that cache location. I don't know. It's going to be situationally dependent, most likely. But anyway, let's get in here and let's see what we've got. The grass and the moss and stuff here has healed over. It has healed over really, really well. And it is unrecognizable that anything was ever buried here because of the way that I buried it. There'll be a link to that video in the somewhere on the screen somewhere if I remember to put it there. But if I don't, I'll definitely put it in the description. So anyway, when I buried it, I dug up a plug, like a grass plug, a sod plug, and I put that plug back when I was finished. So none of the grass died, none of the moss died, everything was fine. And it healed over where you can't see. There's no way, I cannot tell. I know exactly where it is, and I cannot tell that anything was ever buried here. Buck has come in here and tried to kill my little tree that I planted. Sort of scraped, ripped off the branches, scraped the trunk. Hopefully it survives. Probably will. Probably not helpful to this little tree if I'm chopping up its roots either. But what are you gonna do? In the name of YouTube fame, I will make the sacrifice. Chickens are going nuts this morning. Wouldn't it be funny if one of my buddies was watching this video, or the first video, and he came in here in the middle of the night, stole my cache without me knowing it? That would have been funny. One of you guys should have done that. That would have been good. Would have really ruined my video here, but would have been funny, nevertheless. There it is. I wasn't far enough out. You know, it would have been smart to watch the old video myself. That way I'd know exactly where it was before I started digging. So there's the black trash bag that the 5-gallon bucket is in. Why would you want to cache stuff in the first place? And we touched on this in the previous video 4 months ago. Why would you want to do this? There's lots of reasons why you might want to do this. You know, having all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, is generally not a good idea. You know, what happens if your house burns down and suddenly all your gear and food and everything that was in it is gone? Maybe, just maybe, it'd be a good idea to have some supplies strategically placed on your property, around your property, off your property, so on a buddy's property, so that if something should happen and you should lose everything, you've got some stuff ready to go. And let's say there's a situation where you can't just go out and go buy all the stuff again, right? You know, if my house was to burn down right now, I've got insurance. I could call a guy and I could have my house possibly rebuilt. Yeah, there's some things in there that I couldn't replace, but I could probably replace a lot of the necessities that I need, like the food and the guns and ammo and, you know, all the things I could probably replace. But let's say we were in a time that those options were no longer available, and let's say we had to be a lot more resourceful to replace those items, or they just weren't available at all. We'd be in a tough spot. So I think having, I mean, obviously you'd probably want a little bit more supplies than what you could fit in a 5-gallon bucket, but I think you guys get what I'm saying, that having some stuff stored away and buried up perhaps off-site where you could get to it fairly easily and access some supplies or food or whatever, I think is a smart tactic. There we go. A small cut in the bag, but that's almost 100% certain it's from me digging it just now. So perhaps I should have been a little bit more careful, but let's crack into this baby and see what we've got. So we've got our bucket. It's actually not a 5-gallon bucket, I forgot. I think it's probably a 3-gallon bucket. But we've got it inside of a heavy-duty trash bag. The inside has moisture inside that trash bag, so that tells me that's either from some sort of just condensation or there was some sort of leak in that bag. So I don't know if the 5-gallon or the 55-gallon drum liner was necessarily a good idea or not. Maybe it trapped the moisture that got in there somehow. Maybe got trapped by that bag and couldn't not evaporate out, but get away from the bucket. I don't know. But the bucket was still sealed with a lid with a rubber gasket on. A lot of people had an issue with the grease around the rubber gasket. They said that the petroleum-based grease will decay, eat away at the rubber gasket. And, you know, that's probably true. So in hindsight, we probably should have used some sort of like maybe silicone-based grease or something like that. Not that it's probably even necessary, but just an extra measure. So we had it in a bag, which I don't think was that successful. There was still water in there. So I don't think that was very helpful per se. So let's crack into the bucket. But first, let's go wash our nasty paws off. And spring is here and I love it. The water is warming up in the creek that used to be painfully cold to do such things. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so, all right, so I put the grease, like axle grease basically, on that rubber gasket. And I don't see, it's only been 4 months, yeah, I get it, but the 4 months is kind of a long time. I don't see any problems with that rubber gasket whatsoever. So, I don't know. Again, it probably wasn't even necessary to put the grease on that rubber gasket, but I just thought it'd be an extra safety measure. The grease looks good. Grease looks fine. It's still in good shape, still greasy, still greasing, but I don't see any problems whatsoever with that rubber gasket. All right, so now inside of the 3-gallon bucket was a Mylar bag that I sealed up. Look at that. That looks like it still has a really good seal. It is vacuumed, squished down because I put before sealing up this Mylar bag, I put oxygen absorber in there, and that oxygen absorber soaked up the oxygen and crushed that bag down, and that looks like it still has a really excellent seal. So I'm very, very optimistic that everything that's inside of here is good to go. I probably could have buried just this in the dirt and not done anything else, not even put it inside the bucket, and it probably would have been okay. But I think having this sealed up in the Mylar and inside of that protective bucket was the ticket. Like I said, I don't think that trash bag did any good whatsoever. Probably, honestly, it was wet inside of that bag. Even though the bag was tied, closed off, and turned upside down, so the knot was underneath, it was on the bottom. So there was no way that water could theoretically, unless there was a hole in it of some sort. And like I said, this field has flooded. I mean, there was water running over top of this cache. So Maybe there was a small leak in that bag or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I could hear, I don't know if you guys heard that. I could hear the air going psst as I cut into it. Two things that would be really, really helpful for me, if you do not mind, please share this video. Just hit the share button and share it with somebody, anybody. It does not matter. Share it with your mom, share it with your sister, share it with another account that you have. It doesn't really matter. The shares really, really help, and I'd be really grateful for that. The other thing is these ulus that I designed, the Bear Forest Knives Ulu, are still available. I think there's a few of these left, so if you want one, different colors, Cerakotes and stuff like that, you can get one. I think you'll really dig it. And the On3 EDCs that I don't have on my hip right now because I have this, the On3 EDCs are also ready for pre-order now, so hop on that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I put it inside of this backpack because, you know, I want to have a way to easily carry the supplies that I put inside of my cache after I pick it up. So I just buried a backpack. I kind of forgot about that. This is my cinch pack from P&W Bushcraft. And this looks dry as a bone. There's no moisture on that. Zero, here's the oxygen absorber that did its job. And there is absolutely zero moisture inside of this bag. I mean, like nothing. It is bone dry inside of this Mylar bag. Crack it into our goods. First aid kit, definitely something that you should consider having some supplies stashed away. Some bonus first aid supplies right there. I have a poofy jacket. And the test, one of the tests of it, if there's been any moisture in there, is it's gonna smell moldy, mildew. And this smells fine. It smells almost like, I don't know, it might be in my head, but it almost smells like ozone. It smells very clean, just as clean as the day that I put it in there 4 months ago throughout the winter. No issues, no moisture whatsoever on this jacket. Water in a canteen, a metal canteen cup. Let's check it out. Smells fine. Tastes like water, no problems. Good to go. So if I was in a bad spot, I was hurting, lost all my stuff, lost all my gear, house burnt down, post-apocalyptic type vibes going on around here, and I needed a drink of water, man, like how amazing would that be if you'd gone a day or so without a drink of water, fresh, clean drink of water, and you really needed it? This would be great. Yep, got Leatherman in here. Doesn't look like there's any rust or anything like that on there. Looks good to go. A Leatherman wave. Mylar blanket, emergency shelter, ready to go if it was bad weather, like it looks like it's about to be here shortly, and I needed some sort of shelter, this Mylar blanket would be amazing. Obviously not my preferred source of shelter, but man, it is great to have it when you need it, and it fits in a pocket better than anything else. I got food. I got powdered vitamin milk. We should probably try this, I guess, huh? Should give this a go. I've got a Bic lighter. Moment of truth. No faking it here. Oh, look at that. She works. The trusty Bic lighter, buried underground for 4 months, still gets the job done. And then, of course, we've got some ammo right here ready to go, and I will be testing this to show that it still works. We'll do that right now. I won't be able to show it to you because if I do, this video will be demonetized because YouTube is run by communists, I think. But I'll let you listen to the bang. Well, there you go. Good to go. No worries. Works fantastic. Nutrient Survival powdered vitamin milk. I don't know if this tasted any good before, but we're gonna try it out and see if it's good. I haven't had that before. We're gonna see. I think I've got the nesting canteen cup probably in here if I had to guess. And we do. Look at that. Clean his whistle. One of the cool things about the Ulu is it's got a 90-degree spine on the side there. So if I need to do any kind of scraping like that, I can save the edge. Get rid of the outer bark on this guy. Tastes like a protein shake, basically. Yeah. Not terrible. Not my favorite meal, of course, but if I was hurting for calories, something like this would probably be pretty good. Yeah, it tastes like the protein shakes I used to drink. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Hope you found this informative, at least to some degree. Please hit the thumbs up, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, share this video with anybody. Like I said before, I'd be really, really grateful for that. It helps out the channel a ton, and I cannot wait to see you on the next one.